is basically where you're going to be running all of your mailings through. It's integrated when development is completed, will be integrated completely with Sedona Office. So you'll process files exactly the same way you did before, where a CSV file will be pushed to our FTP instead of Bridgestone. The difference will be when, as soon as you push a file to us, we will run it and we will send you an automated email. I mean, it's not terribly exciting. It'll just be a basic thing like this, but it will contain a link to the specific run that we processed for you that you can just click into. So it'll let you know when it's ready, when it's processed. You don't need to reach out to a person, which is very, very nice. And what that link will do, it'll take you to the process run itself. And on the page, we will give you a breakdown of everything in the mailing. Now, this is for one of the municipalities that we process for. So the metrics that we have for them are a little bit different. But you can see they just want a total record count. We segmented out. They process emails with us, so we'll tell them how many emails were in their file. Then as far as the main file, what we do is we give them a breakdown based on the postage, how everything was grouped, and we'll tell them, how postage was calculated for them for USPS. And then down here towards the bottom of your run, we will give you all of the process documents that USPS makes available to us. We make them available to the client. So for example, USPS will often perform what's called a move update. I don't know if people are familiar with that, but what it is basically is just if somebody moves and they register a move update with the post office, they require that the address be updated to wherever that person moved. What we'll do is we give you a listing of all of the old addresses and what USPS changed it to. So if, for example, somebody reaches out and says, hey, why did you send, my water bill? Why did Marta's water bill get sent to, Bartlett, Illinois here instead of Peregrine Parkway? We can tell them it was just a move update, and that report is available to you 24/7. We will also have the CAS summary available. What CAS is it is a breakdown of address corrections that USPS provides, so you can get an idea of how many street addresses were in your file, how many had a PO box, how many were high rises, and it lets you know if any of them were bad addresses. It gives you a percentage of how many were converted. Most people are not terribly interested in the nuts and bolts of USPS and what got changed and what had a bad address, but we do make that breakdown available to you if that's something you want to research, such as somebody is complaining to you that they're not getting their bills and why is it a post office issue. We will make those reports available to you so that you can research it. So some other things that are available on the process run. We have the process specifications for postage, basically just the nuts and bolts of USPS. So 99% of my clients like that this is available, but don't necessarily need to download the report all the time. What people are interested in is over here in the file section, we make a full rendering of all of your bills available so that you are able to approve everything before the job mails. So, for example, South Holland here has their invoice that goes out. What they can do on here is they can download the full or a sample PDF, which is much, much smaller for big mailings, which is nice so that they don't have to wait forever for this to download like I'm having to deal with here. But what they can do here, let me get this open. They can spot check a couple of their bills to make sure all the totals make sense, make sure that their marketing messages appear the way that they wanted them to, proofreading. All of this is dynamic, by the way. This clerk's office and village news are PDFs that they actually uploaded to our portal independent of the data file. They did that automatically. And South Holland has the ability to control this. This is something that we could add to your bills as well, if that's something people are interested in. And I'll show you how that works in a second. They also have letters that they enclose. This here is just a dynamic insert that they emailed to me and I set up. and we make that available so that they can see which pieces got the insert, what it looks like, et cetera, et cetera. So that's how they review the run. If they decide everything looks good, let me see if I can get a, as far as job approvals go, here we go. There'll be a little section here. They just approve it online as soon as they enter their password and security code on our portal. And this is on the run as well. Automatically, this kicks off into our production schedule. It goes into imaging, it goes into assembly without you needing to talk to a person at all. It just automatically schedules it as soon as you issue your approval. And that's what all the turnaround is based on. So you do that all through the portal. You can call me if you want to chat, but you don't have to. And then once that process kicks off, you'll get another email that indicates that the job was approved. And then you will get a final email indicating when the job mails. And we make all this information available on Acess as well. So it'll tell you how many pieces mailed, what the dates were. It registers when the file was actually approved. We retain all that information for you. The other thing that is nice is if later, for example, this is the July run for South Holland, it's assigned a run ID up here. If I'm wondering if this job mailed on time, what was going on with USPS, what we do on Acess is we link the specific run to USPS so we can get what we call IMB tracing, intelligent mailer barcode. It's under a feature here that we call document tracking. You will have this available to you. And what this does is it allows me to look up specific pieces or an entire run, which is what I'm going to do here. I can select the South Holland application. Obviously, you will have far fewer applications than I do. And this will search for every single piece that was a part of that mailing. It'll give me a listing of what the names were for every single one of those, and it'll tell me when it was mailed and when we estimate that it was delivered based on what was scanned at USPS. So if I look on here, I can say, if Jill called me wondering if her document was delivered, I can click here on track. No tracking data is available. Okay, Jill might not have, there might have been an issue at USPS. But if we go to, this is a super old run, so I might not have tracking. So go here. Wayne never fails me. So here on Wayne, we have a breakdown of all of their estimated in-home dates based on tracking information that we got from USPS. It gives you the estimated delivery dates and the percentage of what was tracked. And then if we want to go through and track specific documents and we want to see the actual registered scans, you just click document tracking on the run, or you can use that tracking screen that I showed you under document tracking here. I can just search. And then on here, it'll give me when it was first scanned, when it first arrived at USPS, and then it'll say when it was last scanned. And what that means is we can logically assume that it was given to a carrier, and then it was assumed that day. So you can have something to go back to your clients to say, I have tracking information for your piece. It looks like it was delivered. Just so you can be a little bit more informed about your mailing. And very last feature that I wanted to go back over was back in good old South Holland, because we were talking about those marketing messages. And up here at the top of their application page, we have what we call is the online composition or the message center. If they click edit here, what they can do is they can either type a message that they want to appear on their bill in those boxes that I showed you right in here. Or what they can do, and what they often do, you can see, is they'll upload PDFs to our portal here. They'll select which ones they want to use, and they just say save and continue. And what it will do is it renders a sample of what it's going to look like in case they need to adjust any of the images or the size or anything. Um, and then as soon as they approve this, the next time it processes, we will just add whatever marketing message that they wanted on there. So they can see, they want this message about it being closed in November and about paying their bill online. So all of that is done to the portal. All of that is automated, and you don't need to reach out to a person for that. You would need to email us a copy if you wanted a full sheet insert, but we would add that on for you, and then it's available in the sample the next time you process. So I believe, oh, last thing I wanted to show everyone is if, for example, go back to good old Wayne. If, for example, you have an active run with us um, and you all of a sudden realize that a certain piece, you looked at the sample, you want everything else to mail except for a specific piece. Here's an example that Wayne actually did today where Michael Dots and Bank of the West, they did not want them to get their pieces. All they did to make this happen is they clicked pull. They can search for the specific piece. They either search by name or account number, and they can issue that pull through Access. And what that'll do is we'll remove that piece so that it doesn't mail. Everything else will mail, but we will destroy these for you so that Michael and Bank of the West, um, that isn't mailed to them. We will destroy it on our end. Again, you get a confirmation email when you approve this pull, letting you know that it went through, but you do not need to reach out to us to let us know. It's all automatic and done through our portal. So I believe that is everything that I had that I wanted to go over. I guess I'll kick that back to Dino if there were any questions.